Hello, my grandbabies. Don here, your pop culture boy. I hope you have your concert tickets ready. Am I the only one who noticed this hyperfixation on artist tours of late? These luxurious tours that cost an arm and a leg, depending on the artist. Suddenly, artist tours have to sell out within hours of general announcement. If tickets aren't affordable, fans go off on the artist on social media, as if going on their faves tour is essential for life. Tour sales are now being compared, while Fandom A clowns Fandom B for not ensuring their faves sell out. Fans are also spreading damaging information about such and such tour having pockets of empty seats after reports of being sold out. It's really ridiculous, and it's never been like this in the past.
Not like this.
And don't get me wrong, while people, mainly the media, have always reported on artist tours in a negative light, the conversation has never been prolonged. Flop tours were always water under the bridge for the most part, and I'm using the term flop loosely as in most cases, the claims are exaggerated when you look at the big picture. Point I'm making is, touring in regards to sales in this competitive manner was never a main discussion in the music zeitgeist. It was very much confined to fan pages, so it's mainly pushed in a positive light because who cares about tours other than the tour's targeted audience? Or so it once was. So in this video, let's explore the hyperfixation on luxurious flop tours, whether in its ticket sales or the overall production. The weird culture of spending a fortune on tickets in hopes your fave won't flop, and how did we get here? I am Don, your pop culture boy, and let's get into it.
Catastrophic.
How did we get to this point where so-called flop tours are now becoming its main player, not just amongst fans, but the wide internet? I feel like just the other day, i.e. 2022, which was not too long ago, by the way. Anyway, we were all talking about how poorly artists were being treated at their concerts, Harry Styles getting hit in the face, Rosalia getting hit in the face with objects as well, Steve Lacy destroyed a fan's phone that was thrown on stage while he was performing. It was all about fans not knowing how to act at concerts, being rude, entitled, etc. And we slowly started seeing that change into artist concerts/tours not selling out completely with a dramatic effect.
For a big story making waves in the music world, it looks like all the single ladies are staying home as Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour, it is struggling to sell out.
This has been happening since the dawn of time, but I think flop tours becoming the new challenger started sprouting its roots a few years ago. There were reports in 2023 of Lil Baby removing multiple dates ahead of his It's Only Us tour with no explanation. Sexy Red got these reports of poor ticket sales as well. A lot of us took these reports as, thank God shitty music is coming to an end. And I also remember when the media started publishing articles that Nicki Minaj's last tour, Pink Friday 2 tour, was struggling. And it's the wording these outlets use that make it seem like certain acts tours are not profitable if a few thousand seats aren't sold. Now, was this turned into a spectacle of sorts with stands online back then? Yes, but the hype died down as it usually does within a few days. Like, who cares, right? And this is how it's always been. Until recently, where the quote-unquote struggling tours are a part of the main flopification discourse on the net, such as the poor performing singles and low album sales are, as those are the typical drivers of flop discourse for months. But to be fair, a lot of those conversations are also extremely exaggerated as well. Over the years, music tours have gotten more expensive, turning from a simple social/casual activity to now a luxury. As for the major artists, these shows' general admission can range from $100 to $300 or even $400, with some VIP tickets listed in the thousands. It's no longer just a live performance, rather these artists are now putting on a show. And with the cost of these tickets, they better, as fans are expecting more than just a typical performance when they spend thousands of dollars to see their favorite artists. In 1999, Paul Rahi, a former media reporter for the Washington Post, wrote, "Bruce Springsteen, legendary poet of the working stiff, is a flinty-eyed capitalist when it comes to marketing his live performances. For his third sold-out performance at the MCI Center in Washington starting later this month, Springsteen didn't leave much on the table. Better tickets sold at $67.50 a piece, or about twice what the boss charged when he last played an arena show here 7 years ago. Pricey as Springsteen is, he's no Cher. Her show with Cyndi Lauper at the Nissan Pavilion in early July commanded a top price of $77.75. At least unlike Springsteen, that included parking. Concert ticket prices are bounding upward at inflationary rates. That would seem shocking, even in battered third world economies. According to a survey by Polestar, a magazine that follows the concert business, the average ticket price rose from $25.82 in 1996 to $38.56 during the first half of 1999. That's an increase of nearly 50%. So even in 1999, people were complaining about ticket prices. And with live entertainment companies such as Ticketmaster, which is considered a monopoly by a lot of people, I think prices are gonna get higher. Speaking of Ticketmaster, I went on their site to see the cost of Coldplay's ticket for their Music of the Spheres World Tour, which has so far grossed $1 billion. And I'm seeing their standing room prices are going for $600 plus. The other tickets were verified resales that ranged from $300 to over $1,000. And some of these seats are nosebleeds. Now, is it worth it to spend over $1,000 to see your fave with my broke ass?
Oh, hell no!
And if you're wondering, what are the perks of these VIP packages for acts like Taylor Swift and Coldplay? You get early access, the best seats, maybe merchandise, and maybe meet and greet opportunities. Although I couldn't find information confirming they charge for meet and greets, rather both Taylor and Coldplay might invite a lucky fan on stage or invites backstage. So it seems like with the cost of these tickets, what they are selling is an experience to see your faves on an expensive ass stage and how bad you want to see them. So it's like they are pricing out the casual fan in favor of the super fan who would do anything for a ticket, like going into credit card debt or paying for their tickets in installments, a service that is offered by Ticketmaster.
We in this bitch finna get crunk. Eyebrows on fleek, the fuck.
Katy Perry, who is currently on her tour, the Lifetimes tour, where standard tickets range from $150 to $350, with resales going for as much as $860. It's been reported that Katy's tour is struggling to sell out, while some outlets are even saying her US dates remain empty, ahead of Showtime, which has already kicked off, by the way. Katy is also being called out for mediocre dancing after videos of the singer looking a bit stiff on stage was posted on the net, which is also raising the questions of why are her tickets so expensive if she can't put on a good show. Now, while her dancing is not the best, it's also not surprising as Katy has always been somewhat stiff in my opinion, and she's getting older. She has a family now and she recently went to space. Where Katy excels is her gimmicks and overall theatrical productions. Again, the dancing is wonky, but despite the reports, her tour is selling. It might not be selling out ahead of time like Taylor Swift's, whose dancing is also not that good, if I might add, but Katy's tour is selling, and with these high prices, it's confirming that they are targeting the super fan. So it's getting to the point where it kind of doesn't matter if the performer isn't top notch at performing, as buying these tickets are also a flex to a lot of people who can afford them, who also spend more time on their phones at these shows for social media instead of being in the moment. Put your damn phone down. It's interesting seeing how everyone is invested in how such and such artists' tours are doing. It's like everyone is now an analyst in regards to tour duration, stage production, and how much seats are filled, but it's all done in a negative way. When it's a tour that is attached to artists they don't like. Otherwise, it's positivity when it's one of these online users' fave. And I might be wrong, but I feel like the fan base that is mainly responsible for this discourse are the Swifties. Spanning 149 shows, Taylor's last tour, the Eras Tour, has grossed over $2 billion in revenue and currently holds the record for the highest grossing tour of all time. With that in mind, her fans love to compare Taylor's tour stats with other fan bases. And if an artist doesn't sell out in minutes like Taylor, the Swifties will call the fans of that artist broke. Back to what I was saying earlier, all this policing or kind of high-key pocket watching was only reserved for the mainstream media. Fans only care about their faves' tours and no one else. Back in my day, as I am 80 years old, when you didn't hear about an artist, it was because they were on tour. So you'd be like, where the fuck is Teletubbies? Or where the fuck is Bow Wow? Where he at? Then you'd find out he's on stage somewhere ripping his pre-torn shirt. Then you'd be like Trisha Paytas eating a chicken sandwich in your pink Range Rover. And went on with your day. But these fans today, they're calculating how much the tour made, finding out if it's sold out in seconds, minutes, or hours. And if it doesn't, then there's a problem. After announcing the Cowboy Carter tour on February 2nd, 2025, along with a few pre-sale events that same month, many Beyonce fans were eager to get their hands on tickets at a reasonable price. However, a lot of fans complained about exorbitant prices, insane wait times, and alleged technical issues on Ticketmaster. Fans complaining about high ticket prices shouldn't come as a shock, as the world is going through it right now. And a lot of us don't have it like that. But if you do, please DM me on Instagram and we'll work something out. Beyonce fans have left frustrated after Ticketmaster experienced technical issues during the pre-sale for her highly anticipated Cowboy Carter tour. The platform reportedly glitched, leaving thousands stuck in online queues, while those who managed to get through were met with shockingly high ticket prices, reports TheBlast.com back in February. When pre-sale tickets for Beyonce's London shows at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium went live, many fans were met with a donation request on top of the already insane ticket prices. For those who managed to reach the checkout, the insane ticket prices left buyers shocked. Some fans reported seeing prices as high as £700, with standing tickets costing more than £224. One user expressed disbelief at the pricing, posting, "Public service announcement, those wanting to spend to see Beyonce in London in June is going to set you back £224. Others shared screenshots of ticket listings showing prices, prompting a widespread backlash against Ticketmaster's controversial dynamic pricing model. When Beyonce announced the Cowboy Carter tour, I was like, it's gonna be easy to get these tickets. Motherfuckers ain't gonna go to a tour to listen to songs from an album they didn't like," said one fan. Another person said, 150,000 people in front of me? Fuck you, motherfucker. Give me my tickets. It's Cowboy Carter tour for those who like Cowboy Carter.
Beyonce, we need to talk. What is this? And this? And this? $3,000?
Now, as Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour, first date held at the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California drew closer, resale tickets that were originally selling for $800 started lowering in price. Prices dipped as low as $40, prompting online users to clown the tour for these low prices. So, the same people who complained about high prices also complained about prices lowering. Now, the complaints weren't all frivolous, as some fans who paid high prices when tickets initially went on sale only for the resellers to drop that low wasn't a good look. And for them complaining, I say rightfully so.
But there's a big issue with like the resale tickets going for like $30 or $40 when they originally were put on sale on pre-sale for like $300 for the 500 section in LA. This is one of the SoFi shows, but even at some of the other venues, I think this is Chicago or New York, where $100 tickets in the 300 levels, this was not seen the day where we all waited in the queue for pre-sale. These tickets were $300. Here's another one, $137. And if you try to ask Ticketmaster, hey, can I like exchange my tickets for like maybe a better seat that's less expensive than what you paid and get a refund? They would just say no. They would say, no, you have to trade your ticket for one that is of higher value than what you already paid for. So you would just be literally losing money and just buying a new ticket for less money instead of being able to refund your original ticket or exchange it for a better seat that is less expensive. They're not going to give you a refund there.
Now, as we all know by now, the Cowboy Carter tour has already started, and fans are reporting technical difficulties and mishaps. Fans reported the screens on the stage kept glitching at one LA show, and Beyonce's spot apparently wasn't marked for her on the stage floor, and she almost got hit by one of those robotic arms. Also, said robotic arms missed her glass while pouring her whiskey called Sir Davis. In Beyonce's defense, this is just how it goes on these mega tours that has so many things moving all at once. Also, it's the first leg of the tour, and this is when they make most of the mistakes. People on Twitter were also posting photos of pockets of non-crowded sections, saying her show wasn't sold out, and these were spots that were listed in gray on Ticketmaster, which means no available seats for purchase. Some fans even went as far as to post photos of empty seats of unrelated venues, saying it's Beyonce's Cowboy Carter.
Girl, I want your body.
Swifties were also comparing the production with Taylor Swift's Eras Tour that took place at the SoFi Stadium as well, claiming Beyonce did not pay to turn on the above screens.
Of course, Swifties are going after Beyonce because she doesn't have the screens on at SoFi Stadium. Let's get into it. Videos are being made all over the internet about Beyonce, how she did not have the screens turned on and did not quote-unquote pay to have the screens turned on at SoFi Stadium for everybody that's sitting in the upper levels. For reference, Taylor Swift had the screens on throughout every show, so everybody, no matter where you were sitting, could see the show, even if you were up in the 500. But we have to come to Beyonce's defense in this because it could be a lot more than what we're thinking at the surface. I was at night one at Cowboy Carter and Beyonce literally flew on a car all the way up throughout the entire stadium. Everybody could see her no matter where you were at. Plus, she had a horseshoe that she flew on as well. Here's the horseshoe and that thing went zooming around SoFi Stadium. We have to stop separating the girls saying Taylor did this, Beyonce did this. No, it could be because Beyonce wanted it to be that way for artistic purposes. Beyonce has the money. She has sponsors behind her that have the money. People will pay for that level of production. People will pay for her to have the screens on if she wanted them on. I highly doubt that this is because Beyonce didn't pay to have them on. What do you guys think?
Like, these motherfuckers know everything. Like, just the level of dedication to make your fave look better than another artist. I don't know. I think that deserves something. That deserves something special. Recently, Lady Gaga performed for over 2.5 million people at her free concert in Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana Beach.
I fucked it up. Can I go back? Can I go back, please?
Breaking the record for the highest attended concert by a female artist in history, a record previously held by Madonna, who drew a crowd of 1.6 million to her free concert at the same location in May 2024. In the wake of the announcement, some Madonna fans were not having it and took to the most non-triggering app, Twitter, calling for a recount like it's an election. One user said, "I've been investigating and I have uncovered some deeply disturbing information. It seems that different calculations were used to estimate crowds at Lady Gaga and Madonna shows. Both concerts occupied 6 blocks, but the calculation for each one is different. How can this be?" Others were posting Illuminati-esque images of the area during both concerts with the intentions of proving Madonna had the bigger crowd. One user replied, "Hi, how can one share this or raise this with the mayor?" Now, I don't know if they're being ironic, but ironic or not, it's kind of funny. Okay, so far I've mainly talked about the women in regards to these expensive concerts, the issues and the back and forths amongst their fans. Yes, I've mentioned Coldplay, but I couldn't find any significant examples of their fans going at other fan bases, and I'm sure they have, but I couldn't find it. The stan wars are mainly dominated by female artists' fan bases, and it is interesting for the most part how these fans, not all, but some of them use these women who they don't know as ammo in defense of their fave, who also doesn't know they exist. And a lot of these female artists have spoken fondly about each other and even publicly supported each other. And don't get me wrong, some of the discourse is hilarious, as a lot of it is ironic, but then a lot of it is also very nasty. For examples, the Swifties, they think they're defending Taylor or showing the internet that they have the dominant fan base, but Taylor Swift has never asked them to defend her in any capacity. Yeah, that was just a little tangent. But Drake fans, who are called Team Drizzy, by the way, are probably, well, scratch that, not probably, but are the fans by a male artist who are comparable with these discourse that are mainly led by female fan bases. Right now, a lot of Drake fans are obsessed with Kendrick Lamar's and SZA's joint tour, the Grand National Tour, which also got backlash from some fans for its high ticket prices as well. Drake fans are constantly arguing how the tour isn't selling out, spreading misinformation, posting Illuminati-esque photos as well, when what they should be more concerned about is Drake's reputation in the space of hip-hop, who is trying to sue his label because he lost a rap beef. With the increase of online activities on social media right now compared to the past, more internet forums being bombarded with bloggers, TikTokers, critics, and fans, it's proven that these luxurious tours backed by the major artists are next in line for scrutiny for longer periods than before. And these conversations will continue to grow legs and dominate as social media always wants something to talk about, especially if it's negative. I think these artists and their management will do everything to ensure their tours sell out more than ever. Because reports of struggling ticket sales, whether true or false, being spread by both the media and users online is not a good look for these artists, who are obsessed themselves with sales and obsessed with their internet narrative. That being said, at the end of the day, who really wins after the dust settles? These artists, because they are still laughing to the bank. And even if one of these tours flop, they can work on a comeback, as everyone loves a good comeback story. That's all I have for this video. Hope you liked it. If you do, give it a like. I haven't said that in a while. Tell me what you think about this hyper-fixation on tours of late, which is becoming a major topic in the music discourse zeitgeist. Also subscribe and turn on all notifications so you'll be updated when I drop my next video. I am Don, your pop culture boy. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye.